You know, I always say that I'm a farmer with a bit of a smile because I know people laugh. People laugh when they say that because it's kind of a joke. You know, there are no young farmers out there anymore. How many 23-year-old farmers do you think there are? Or how many 16-year-old aspiring farmers do you think there are?
Nova Scotia was a net exporter of food. We supplied not just apples, we supplied grain down the eastern seaboard. We were a net exporter. And now we are importing, 85% of our food?
I used to worry about the specter of war, that they were someday, when I grew my sons, they were going to have to go to war. But there's been a new enemy come into the picture. It's not so much that they have to go to war anymore, that's that they might be hungry. That's a real picture now. I really think that this country at some point is going to be hungry.
It's not going to be easy to come back. Food supply is a big boat and it takes a big spot to turn it.
We have to learn that this fantastic, and I'm using this in a negative sense, this fantastic dream that we've created, this great illusion of this Western way of being in the world, cannot be sustained.
Things are at kind of a tipping point right now where they can really go in two directions. I don't think things can really cruise at the place they are now.
We need to start making changes in how we live rather than changing the world to make it easier for us to live. That we need to kind of take a bit more responsibility.
Yeah, I talked to one potato farmer in New Brunswick, and he had acres and acres of potatoes and a small garden next to his house with potatoes in it. I said, that's kind of odd that you've got your own little potato patch here. So when you've got these acres of potatoes. He said, I don't eat those. He said, they're sprayed 17 times a season with pesticides, herbicides, fungicides. He said, you think I eat those? He said, these are my potatoes.
Our whole framework is out of order. You know, there are so many people doing so many good things, and the common thread that links all those people together is that they want, I don't even know if I could put a word or a label on it, but we all just want to save the world, right? Like, we really want our children to live in a world that's better than the world that we live in today.
In essence, we've got to look after the world. And therefore, we've got to look after all the creatures of the world, plus the land of the world. And we've got to be self-sufficient in food. They all go together. And if we have a system whereby we're producing the food that we need, and we can do, both environmentally and ecologically correct, which means biodynamics, in fact, then there's some hope for the future. And what I would see out there is that the land repopulated with many, many smaller farms.
It matters to me. It matters that the business lasts. It matters that people still have their jobs. It matters that, you know, that what we do, if we're going to make a change, is going to be for the better. And I think that we're about to make a turn that, you know, who knows what we're up against. But here we are in paradise. You know, we're so lucky, aren't we? We're so lucky to live here. You know, we've got all the opportunity in the world to take what is surrounding us and treat it in a way that it's going to come back and feed us and nurture us in more ways than one.